Radio TV, welcome. They are going to live stream us for all the people that wanted to come but couldn't be here. They can follow along at home. For anyone that's new to this setup, how it works, there are 4 rounds. After each round, we'll have an opportunity to do some substitutions, so there will be some in and out at that point. As we go through it, we'll explain kind of each round how the point values work, and some of them are rounds where you're allowed to discuss, and others are ones where you just buzz in individually. Okay, so for the first round, it's a toss-up round, which means every person's kind of on their own to buzz in. If these guys over here buzz in, if one of them buzzes in, then that's the opportunity for the whole team. So they'll answer individually, but then the rest of the team won't have an opportunity. If they are incorrect, though, then the other team can buzz in once as well. All right. So we will begin with our toss-ups, and in this very first round, our point values for this round are 2 points per question. And we'll just go from there.
You get docked points if you miss.
You do not get negative. Yes, this is not
Jeopardy.
Cutting him. Jeopardy in that way. All right, so here we go.
Let's go back.
Okay. Duds.
All right, so we're ready.
Look how serious. We have serious people.
Okay, question 1. Here we go. The most popular cosmetic procedure among older adults in 2017 was the injection of what?
Botox.
That is correct, Mr. Cunningham.
He's quick.
All right.
He is.
And just so you know.
I was going to say, do I have to wait till you finish the question?
No, you can do it, but you're supposed to wait for me to recognize you just in case you think you got buzzed in first and maybe somebody else got it.
Okay.
So, but you're good. All right, number 2. In the wake of Hurricane Maria, what island territory is pushing for U.S. statehood by 2021? Rodney.
Puerto Rico.
Excellent. Puerto Rico is correct.
I had it in my head.
Number 3. What term for slightly salty water describes medical solutions such as you might, Mr. Cunningham?
Saline.
That's right.
Didn't matter.
Treat your contact lenses with was the rest of that question. All right, nice job. Number 4. Give me the usual translation of Sir Isaac Newton's words. Actione contrarium semper et equalum esse reactionem. Rodney.
For every reaction, there is an equal and opposite reaction.
Repeat that.
For every reaction, there is an equal but opposite reaction.
Incorrect.
Mrs. Begley.
For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction.
That's rough.
So close, sorry.
That was really good.
I'm sure my Latin did not help. All right, number 5.
And you need to clear me.
This material, I didn't clear, thank you. This material was used to make an army of soldiers in China over
Terracotta.
Rachel.
Terracotta.
There was like another paragraph after that.
Oh.
But yes, you're right. Nice job. Number 6. Unlike Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, which prohibit or discourage this practice in favor of burial, this is the normal means of disposing of a body in Hinduism and Buddhism. Senora.
Cremation.
Cremation.
Gotta be something.
Yeah. I don't have confidence. I know.
Number 7.
Buzz them.
His significant paper, Experiments on Plant Hybridization, contained the laws of segregation and independent assortment. Name this scientist. Rachel.
Gregor Mendel.
Well done.
All I could think of was the squares. That's all I could picture in my head.
Miss Gregor sits over there.
That's not biology.
I'm like, what big words did she just say?
Number 8. What county just south of London lent its name to a horse-drawn carriage that, in the musical Oklahoma, had a fringe on top?
Did Oklahoma. So
If no one gets it, you're students who have heard this question not that long ago.
What? What do you mean they've heard this?
This one just happened to come up twice. It's okay, they don't
That's
remember.
funny.
Oh.
Question, please.
Normally no, but for you I will.
Oh.
What county just south of London lent its name to a horse-drawn carriage that, in the musical Oklahoma, had a, quote, fringe on top?
don't know.
I'm gonna go in 10 seconds.
Not a bad idea.
Are you singing this one?
Not. I'd rather just not.
5.
Completely guess.
Mrs. Gavin. Surrey.
Okay.
I don't know that.
Okay, never mind. I'm like,
Oh.
Later we'll
You
sing
couldn't get
that
that
for
far,
you.
could you?
no, I couldn't.
All right, number 9. Here we go. What tiny principality on Switzerland's eastern border tops the CIA's list as having the world's wealthiest population?
No.
Anybody want to guess a tiny principality?
Just do it.
Ms. Gregors,
I don't know if this is even right category. Luxembourg?
you're close.
Oh, yeah.
Rodney.
Not even sure if this is the right
Yeah,
time
right.
to go, but Singapore?
At least you took a risk.
That's not.
What is it? Everybody know it? Liechtenstein.
I told her.
Oh.
If it wasn't Luxembourg, I told her it was Liechtenstein.
Yep, it's the other one. The other
They're
tiny
too common.
landlocked.
I just know Luxembourg.
I didn't even know that.
They've done that.
All right, number 10.
Pretty sure I learned about that in French class once.
The West Indies, the Aegean Islands, and the Malay are examples of what island chains? Rachel.
Archipelagos.
Yes. Rachel's on fire. Number 11. It is the Sorry, let me try again. It is the number of Nobel Prize literature laureates who are Canadian citizens and the number of operas written by Ludwig van Beethoven. After his impeachment, by how many Senate votes was President Andrew Johnson spared the shame of being removed from office?
Senate votes?
Yes,
1.
that is correct.
Yeah, that's
Well,
I was thinking it too.
That whole other part of the question threw me off. I'm like,
Yeah.
They
only
were
wrote
all
one
referring
musical.
to one,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it gets confusing.
That's why I was like, yeah.
Number 12. A 2012 poll by London's National Army Museum voted this man, born in 1732, as Britain's greatest military enemy. Name this, the only U.S. president who didn't belong to any political party. Mr. Cunningham.
George Washington.
Yes, sir.
The
Alas.
number one. I wonder why.
Number 13. Which constitutional amendment bans double jeopardy? Mr. Cunningham.
5th.
Fifth.
Yeah.
This is good that you happen to be in this round.
Yeah. I knew that.
Well played. All right, number 14. In 1971, at the United States General Assembly, an important vote took place. The vote forced one nation to leave the UN, while another of similar language and origins was admitted for the first time. Name both nations. Mr. Cunningham.
Say North and South Korea.
Incorrect. Western.
Vietnam.
Sorry, he stole your team
Oh.
answer.
Oh, okay.
So then it has
I'm
to
sorry.
go. You're good. It
I
has to
didn't
go over
realize.
there.
Okay, my mistake. Sorry.
Hey, no big deal. Anyone want to try?
I took that.
I messed everything up. I'm sorry.
Do it. Do you have an idea?
Rodney, you
Hey,
do it.
it's okay. No one else is buzzing
Somebody
in.
do it.
We're gonna time out 5
do it.
seconds.
Somebody do it.
3, 2.
Hit the button.
Rodney.
I'm going to go out for Vietnam and just guess another country, Laos.
Okay.
Yes.
Not correct. Good try. Taiwan was the expelled country, and China was admitted. That's what Rachel was gonna say.
I'm not gonna do it.
Just kidding. All right, number 15. This is strange. Are you looking at it as well? It's something. They're missing part of the number. All right, so I'm gonna guess that it means 1984. It just says in 84. Okay, so I'm gonna say 1984. I'm not sure. So possibly in 1984. Its population was almost 9 million. In 89, it was less than 5 million. Perhaps as many, this might not be 19 now that I'm reading it. Yeah, okay. Perhaps as many as 500,000 died in a single year, 46, but even more immigrated to the U.S. Name this country whose legislature was abolished by the Act of Union in 80, but whose home rule movement finally gained its independence in 92.
Boy, I should have written stuff down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a long one.
Rachel,
Ireland?
that's correct.
Dang, lady,
job.
nice.
Good job. So yeah, I think the potato famine.
I even
Population.
that and I didn't connect it.
But it was, yeah, it was strange.
I studied
Strangely
it for
weird.
months and I did not connect it. Like I know all about it. Yeah.
Okay, final question for round 1. Here we go. Question 16. It originated in Hartford, Connecticut in 1817 and is more similar to the French than the British or English versions. Features of this nonverbal language include classifiers and finger spelling. Abbreviated, John.
Sign language?
Prompt.
American Sign Language?
That's correct.
Ooh, that was good.
Good job. If I say prompt, by that way, that means that you're on the right track, but they need a little more detail. Okay. All right, nice job. We're going to do some substitutions.
You go that way.
Does somebody else want to actually participate? Okay. Oh, yeah.
Hi.
I won't answer anything because I'll be nervous.
Sorry. I've got 14, 12, but I've got it the other way. Let me double check real quick. 4, 6. Okay, I've got one flipped.
I did not accident.
You're good.
I hit it like a half
So staff is 14. Ooh, it's a good match. Okay. It's correct. Okay, so verifying the score, staff has a slight edge right now, 14 to 12. We're moving into the bonus round. The bonus round works a little bit differently, everybody. So it starts with a question that you answer individually. It's a toss-up question that you buzz in for. Once that question has been correctly answered, then there are some bonus questions that don't necessarily have anything to do with that question, but that then go to the team that was correct. If that team, so let's say the kids have answered correctly the bonus toss-up, then they would get first crack at the bonus questions. If they're incorrect, then there'd be a chance for the other team to rebound it, okay, or vice versa. All right, so to begin with, you cannot discuss, but once you get to the bonus questions, there is discussion allowed on those. Okay, make sense? These are also 2 points per question. And here we go. So bonus round question 1, toss-up. Named for a transcendentalist poet. He left Tuskegee Institute in 1936 and moved to Harlem, where Langston Hughes introduced him to the black literary world and a communist, is that Emma? That is Quinn.
Thoreau.
Incorrect. In a communist belief system. In 1999, his second novel, Juneteenth, was published posthumously. Who is this author of Who Speaks for the Negro and Invisible Man? Anybody want to try? We're going to go in 5 seconds.
Washington.
Good try. Not correct. Ralph Ellison is who they're going for. All right, toss-up number 2.
Thoreau's a good guess, though. Him and Emerson are one, too, that I know.
Yeah.
Toss-up 2. The playwright of our town, Thornton Wilder, called this poet the power behind the Yale Lit magazine when they were undergrads. His best-known short story is The Devil and Daniel Webster. His best-known poem, the Pulitzer Prize-winning book-length narrative poem, John Brown's Body. Who is this American writer?
Oh, yeah, I've read every novel. You know.
Anybody want to time on that one. We're looking for Stephen Vincent Benet. Clearly. I didn't know. All right, number 3.
It'd make me mad if I'd read them.
This phrase was first used by John L. O'Sullivan in an 1845 article titled Annexation. Mr. Cunningham.
Manifest destiny.
Impressive. All right, so staff team gets 2 points there, and they get first crack at the bonus associated with
We can
this.
discuss, right?
And on
I
these,
love
we
discussion.
may discuss, and we need to designate a captain. The captain.
Captain Cunningham.
The captain is just going to give me the official answer for your team. So,
Okay.
Mr. Cunningham's going to captain. Bonus 1 is astronomy. All right, so you may discuss on these.
Oh, dang it.
So staff first crack at this. Betelgeuse and Aldebaran are star names from what language? Aldebaran, sorry. From what language?
Well, guys. Beetlejuice.
German? No, yeah, sounds good.
Or
We'll go with German.
German is incorrect.
Well, listen,
Western Moon,
I
but
have no
is
idea.
captaining, I assume?
Beetlejuice is spelled weird. So I'm gonna assume
Beetlejuice and
French.
Aldebaran.
Aldebaran.
Star Wars is what I would say.
It's French.
Yeah.
French.
Not correct. Good try.
Latin.
Arabic is correct.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Bonus questions are still 2, right?
Correct. All right, so
That's
back,
right, I got it.
bonus question number 2, back to the staff first. What planet may be so bright that it can cast shadows on Earth?
It's either Venus or Mars, I'd assume.
Mars is bigger.
Venus is brighter. I don't know.
I'm gonna say Venus.
Yeah, it'd probably be
I'm not
Venus,
gonna
because
say
that would come in
Mars.
front of the sun.
That works.
That or it's gonna be
We'll
further
go with
away.
Venus.
Venus is correct.
Woo!
Mars is
job.
the other one.
Yeah.
I was like, my very educated
All right.
mother. The
And
sun.
third bonus, staff first. This Egyptian's astronomical system placed Earth at the universe's center.
It's not Akhenaten, is it?
What?
It's not Akhenaten.
Yeah, I don't know the person's name.
Wait a minute, Egyptian.
What's another name for Earth?
Can you say it again?
Isn't it looking for that?
This Egyptian's astronomical system placed Earth at the universe's center.
Yeah, no, let's go with Venus.
Well, that's
that wouldn't
sun.
be, yeah, it'd be sun.
Wait, is it looking for the person's name or the name of the thing?
I don't know.
The
It's
name
a
of the
person's
system.
name.
But it
No.
might be named after the person.
Archimedes.
Yeah. Team Archimedes.
We don't know, do we?
King Tut.
We
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
I'm gonna say
There
King
you go,
Tut.
there you go. I'm not,
Tutankhamun.
did you say King Tut?
Yep.
King Tut's
That's all I got.
You can go for it, I don't,
no.
What? I don't know.
What did
You're
you say?
deferring your captainship?
Chip for this.
Akhenaten.
There you go, whatever she
What do you
said.
think?
Akhenaten.
Okay, good job.
Good try.
Over here.
Geocentric.
No, they were looking for a person. I think I heard Mrs. Gavin say it at one point.
Okay.
Ptolemy is who they're looking
Shoot,
for.
it was right.
Yeah, I thought you said that.
I heard.
All right, nice job. Okay, back to your buzzers,
I know
everybody.
It's a philosophy.
Toss up number 4. Toss up number 4. This is the first name of the earthly mother of Superman, the biological mother of Batman, and the middle-aged professor's wife.
Martha.
Evan is correct.
Ah, boy. My comics came in handy.
He has been waiting.
I just like
All
how simple you
season
said
for
it,
this.
Martha.
I told you I'd answer your question.
Nice job. All right, so students first crack at World War I.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, World War
Enjoy
One.
the first
Maybe.
one.
What 5 years did World War I span?
1914 through 1919.
Yeah.
1914 to 1919.
Is incorrect.
Cunning.
Okay, you're the
All right, you're the captain, man.
14 through 18.
Oh, you need your.
That's what you said, 19, I was like,
It made sense.
I knew
Okay.
that.
You were like,
You're right there, guys. Good job.
It's okay.
All right, question 2 to the kids first. This man's assassination sparked the war.
Franz Ferdinand.
Yes. Well done.
I'm glad you know your World War I trivia.
Which
I know, it's true.
which major power entered the war in 1917?
Was that the U.S.?
Yeah.
Yeah.
States.
United States is correct.
I even knew that then.
Nice. All right, back to your buzzers.
Back to your buzzers.
Toss up 5.
6 years.
It's okay, Q-tip.
He wrote of a creature who in quotes, was not born for death, end quote. This poet concluded that, in quotes, all ye know on earth is that beauty is truth, truth beauty. Who is this poet of Ode to a Nightingale and Ode on a Grecian Urn?
I studied this in college.
I had to memorize a stupid thing.
You can't talk, right? Okay.
Buzz in if you know it. Anybody want to try it?
English?
I know. It's like,
Yes?
Keats.
Keats is correct.
yes!
Well done.
Okay, I was between Yates and Keats and I couldn't talk about you with it. Like, I was like, I'm between two and I don't know how to pronounce it.
Poetry I know comes from.
All right, nicely
I'm so
done.
proud of you.
Bonus 3 to the staff first is called Buried at Westminster Abbey.
Why?
We're all
Why can't
excited.
we get World War
All right, so
Yeah.
you may discuss again. He wrote a collection containing The Parson's Tale and The Pardoner's Tale.
Oh, it's the Canterbury Tales,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Chaucer.
Chaucer, yeah.
There you go, Chaucer.
Chaucer.
I was like, wait.
Well played. Question 2. He wrote My Last Duchess and The Pied Piper of Hamelin.
Okay, you should have been in this one.
Anybody?
Right?
Have a guess.
Anybody?
Hans Christian
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah.
Who?
Hans Christian Andersen.
There you go, Hans Christian Andersen.
Good try.
That was a good guess.
I forgot to
Western.
give you
I don't,
Oh,
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
every answer would be.
Emma? Guys, have a guess.
Katie does if you don't.
British name.
Tons of British names.
Just go with like.
Cunningham.
Yeah.
It's actually German, so don't do that.
Martin.
Smith, yeah, Smith is British.
Smith.
Is
Good
not-
try.
Good try.
Way to play the odds.
Oh, I
But
thought-
no.
I thought she was gonna say
Robert
it was
Browning.
It's like, wait a
That would be
second.
wild.
All right, over here first. He was a fierce rival of Benjamin Disraeli.
I don't know.
Hmm.
A fierce.
No idea.
Shakespeare.
Go with that.
Shakespeare.
Thank you.
Good try.
I have no clue who was the first person.
I'm not gonna say potato.
Please do.
Oh, please, we'd love to do that.
It makes me feel that that's their bogus answer. But they're doing
I
a better
like
job of not saying that.
Cool. And I should.
Heard that last name before. I'm not sure.
Name another British name.
Oh, this is a 10.
So that's not Smith. What's another British name that's not Smith?
5 seconds, people.
Hurry, hurry.
I
British name that's
don't,
not
I
Smith.
can't think.
Whatever.
Charles, I don't know.
Just say Smith.
All right, correct
Smith.
answer. Good try.
Oh.
Is William Gladstone. All right, we've got one more bonus available. Back to the buzzers.
That's a
Golly.
Last
stressful.
toss up. Nope, it's not. Just kidding. There's 8 of them. Toss up 6. All right, here we go. A series of Dürer, there's an umlaut, Dürer woodcuts. A 5x5 chess variant using only knights and pawns. The first word in the title of an Academy Award nominated 1979 Vietnam War film starring Marlon Brando. What is this word? The Greek term for an alternate title of the last book of the Bible, Revelation.
Illegal.
Not yet,
Okay.
but I will in a minute if we need to. You guys want to hear it again?
yes,
Okay.
please.
A series of Dürer woodcuts, a 5x5 chess variant using only knights and pawns. The first word in the title of an Academy Award nominated 1979 Vietnam War film starring Marlon Brando. What is this word? The Greek term for an alternate title of the last book in the Bible, Revelation. Mr.
Othello.
Runty. Say it again.
Othello.
Good try.
It's a Greek word.
Students.
I think I know.
Oh, Terry had it.
Everyone try.
It's okay, at least you tried.
Comes to me a little slow.
Was it the movie that gave it to you?
No,
That's
it's
what I was
the
on.
Art prints.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm an art person.
All right, we're going in 5 seconds. All right, Mrs. Gavin, what is it?
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse.
Yeah, the end, the ultimate of the revelation.
Okay.
What's the movie called?
Apocalypse Now.
Oh,
All right, we've got 2 more
I knew
toss-ups
that movie.
for 1 more bonus.
do it.
But it's a board game too.
Toss-up 7, here we go. All equilateral triangles. Hey guys, listen please. It's hard to be loud. All equilateral triangles have this property with respect to each other. All pairs of congruent triangles have this property with respect to each other, but not all pairs of triangles with this property are congruent. What is this property of triangles that... Yes, Mr. Runty.
Similarity.
We've been waiting for you.
We've been waiting for you on the
I'm
math
just watching him
side.
and his fingers hovering. I'm like, you can push it sometimes or what?
Well done.
Wanted to hear all the stuff.
Well done.
I just want to make sure.
All right, so staff first have a crack at bonus titled Gates. G-A-T-E-S, Gates.
I hope it's National Treasure.
All right, so you may discuss the heavenly gates guarded by Saint Peter.
Oh.
Discuss.
Guarded by St. Peter.
Aren't they called the Pearly?
The pearly, yeah.
Pearly?
Pearly gates, yes,
comment.
very good.
Pearly?
I was waiting for the question. Question at the end.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was the end. I was ready.
We're answering type of gates, okay.
I guess. I was
Next
focused
one.
on National Treasure still.
Berlin's most famous gate.
Does the wall? The Berlin Wall?
No,
Does that count?
I think it's Nuremberg, something like that.
That's incorrect.
Brandenburg.
Over here.
Brandenburg.
Yeah.
Brandenburg.
Brandenburg is
Oh,
correct.
you're so close. So close.
Mr. Foxworthy knew that one.
He's all
Word.
I saw him raise his hand. All right, over here first. Secretary of Defense until 2011.
We never do anything.
True. If you just say one word, I'm going to need another one.
I said, no, I said,
If you say
I said that
gates.
was before I cared.
It's interesting.
I have no
I
idea.
don't know.
Anybody?
Was it a general?
Who? She said general. We go General Gates.
Bill.
Give me a guess.
I don't know.
So it's
Okay.
attached
Sure.
to Gates? John Gates.
Good try. Over here.
I'm not saying Bill Gates.
Don't say Bill Gates.
From what?
I liked William better. I think the official title. I think so. He did something.
No, it's not. No, Nicolas Cage's character.
What'd you say?
Carter
Carter Gates.
In what movie?
Robert.
If it was Robert Bill, it sounds like a
All right, so Robert Gates was the correct answer. Let's go ahead and substitute. We'll get a score
I
update.
got your best.
Oh yeah. He's not
We're
like I literally can't.
Okay, I guess I'm stuck here then.
I gotta pick my son up and put him there.
Thank you, Mr. Cunningham.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Miss Skibby, what score do you have? Okay, that's correct then. I am not doing well with the scorekeeping today. A lot of medication. That's why I'm double checking. All right, are you ready to trade off? Sure. Yeah, they don't need to hear my voice anymore.
Well, you need a break.
It's hard to get out. So just clip that lavalier mic.
I can't do calculator.
I mean, you could do some.
Did I get my calculator?
No.
Oh.
I did not grab
You get 60 seconds, that's what you get.
Yeah, so the next round is the 60 seconds round.
Bless my boots. We're gonna
So,
Oh, what?
explain. What? Hi.
hi, it's ready to go. So I will read the categories of the 60 seconds options. The team that's ahead chooses first. So the teachers will get to choose first. Whichever questions you pass or do not get correct in 60 seconds, the opposite team gets a chance to rebound in this first round.
Mhm.
Okay, so these are the 60 seconds categories. Hitchcock, Old Testament, unions, NFL, and Christmas songs.
Was this the Cardinal Ritter match?
No,
Dang.
this is the extra. So you guys can confer if you want.
Maybe. I mean, anybody else have
I would
the Christmas songs?
I'd be fine with
People
any
would know.
But is, we get
I'm pretty good.
the 60 seconds as a team?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which one do you guys want?
I say the Christmas songs are in it. What do you guys say?
I can do Old Testament too. I don't know NFL.
We also gotta think about what we're
Say,
I
do
mean,
you
we
wanna
probably
do all-
don't,
you wanna
but
do
we
all
don't
real
wanna
and
get
no
stuck.
Christmas songs we play all.
Okay, let's do Christmas. I don't know, I feel like it's gonna have some tricks. Okay, Christmas songs it is.
Yikes.
You have to buzz.
Do we have to buzz?
Hey, get
No.
Okay.
So this is another
Get ready for
round
rebounds.
where you'll have a team captain.
I just
Okay.
wish I could
Who would you like to be team captain?
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Huh?
And so, when I start the timer, I go through the questions as quickly as possible. You can confer, give me answers
Okay.
that come from you. And then if you don't know an answer, you can pass, and if there's time, we'll come back to it.
Okay.
And if you answer and it's incorrect, then that's one that they can have shot at.
Okay.
If we run out of time, we just stop.
You also get the ones that you pass, so.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. So for Christmas songs, the directions are, I'll supply the second lines of these songs, and you give me the first line.
We have to sing it.
No.
They made us sing
Oh
a
my
question one
gosh.
time.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, ready?
Uh-huh.
Number 1, joyful and triumphant.
Do we?
Oh, come all you faithful.
Yes. Fa la 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 la.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly.
Yes. Above thy deep and dreamless sleep, the silent stars go by.
A little town of Bethlehem.
Front.
How sweet we see thy light. No.
O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way.
Dashing through the snow on a one-horse open sleigh.
Yes. Just like the ones I used to know.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
Yes. Sweetly singing o'er the plains.
Dun, 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 dun. Angels we have heard on high. Sorry. Angels we have heard on high.
On Christmas Day, on Christmas Day.
Christmas Day. Dun, 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 dun. On Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. Pass.
Let earth receive her king.
Joy to the world.
Prompt.
The Lord is come.
Yes. That was the end of that.
Sorry, guys.
So good. I got it.
I saw.
6.
You were awesome. I got it.
You got this.
So we don't have a buzzer. We don't have a buzzer that goes to 30. So set it for 60, and then when it hits 30, one of you guys got a buzz, and that's when we stop.
Okay. You have 2 to try.
Okay.
It was fun.
Okay.
I'll sing it.
Okay. So,
When you see 30, buzz.
Okay.
here we go. Above thy deep and dreamless sleep, the silent stars go by.
Oh, little town of Bethlehem, how still we see thee lie.
Yes. And on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day.
I saw 3 ships come sailing in.
Yes.
We did it. We did it, Reddit.
That's that.
I say we take
I was really hoping.
the big sad.
There's a big set.
Because Anthony can
Hitchcock?
do it and I can do it. Not Hitchcock.
I mean, that would be pretty. Old Testament.
I think Anthony and I can do Old Testament. I think it'd be better. I kind of am wary of NFL or Unions or Hitchcock.
I mean, unions could be any.
Unions
Could be
could be
joining of nations. Could be.
We'll take Old Testament. Okay, so you guys, you know
Why
how to
am
read
I
them.
not surprised?
There's no Harry Potter category. I take what I can get.
Or Spanish? Okay, Old Testament. We'll ask you to complete these verses.
Ooh.
Another
Help me,
completion.
Anthony.
Here we go. Number 1, Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the blank.
The heavens and the earth.
Yes. Exodus 27. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God.
In vain.
Yes. Genesis 1:27. So God created man and blank.
His image.
Yes. Isaiah 9:6. For unto us a child is born.
Unto us a son is given. Unto us a son is given.
Yes. Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old,
He will
blank.
not depart from it.
Yes. Job 19:25. For I know that my Redeemer blank.
Lives. Yikes.
Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there is a season and a time blank.
Time to. We'll just pass. Pass.
Psalm 23:1. The Lord is my shepherd.
I shall not be in want. I shall not want.
Yes. Isaiah 53:6. All we like sheep have blank.
Sin. I thought that was yikes. Yikes. What do you got?
6.
6 is not that good. 6 is good for us.
Okay, sorry.
It's a different version.
I'm good with that if you want.
Which version do you want?
Well,
Because they said
in a different translation, you mean like, okay, it says liveth, but that's fine.
These are my
So did we get 6 or 7?
So that gives you 7.
Hey,
Oh, we got 7.
Q.
We got
It might be wrong.
I got 7. Well, actually, you put 6 or 7.
I'll go with yours.
Okay, so
Quinto.
Good job. Quinto, I love you.
so once again, you guys have 2 to rebound.
2?
Nobody gets that last one.
Because we didn't get to it.
I'm going to do that one.
No, but nobody is.
Okay, you ready?
Sure. Okay.
Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there is a season and a time blank.
To mourn.
Isaiah 53:6. All we like sheep have blank.
Strayed.
Gone astray.
Gone astray.
Yes. Okay, so you guys got 1 on that. Oh, for
Still go over.
For the Ecclesiastes was, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven.
Oh, you were right. I got part of it. You got it.
And the one, in case you want to know,
I read a different version.
the one we didn't do was Song of Solomon 2:1. I am the Rose of Sharon and blank.
Heck? No, I don't.
The lily of the valley.
Yeah, it's the sexy one.
Okay, so I'm assuming teachers.
teachers are still leading, yes.
Okay, so they're staying.
So they get to stay.
Okay, students stick.
Hey, what do you guys
So
want?
this
No
part,
rebounds on sticks.
the team that's trailing then gets to stick the winning or the leading team with a category.
I'm trying to think.
And there's
What do you
no
guys want?
rebound on
Yeah.
these
What do
two.
you guys want to stick? Good luck, we're older. I heard unions from down there.
I'd say.
I'm leaning towards Hitchcock. But
I don't, do they know? I mean, there's a few English people.
what do you want to stick on?
Do Hitchcock.
Yeah, let's Hitchcock or unions. Eeny, meeny, miny, murky, catch a squirrel with a turkey. Unions.
Unions?
Catch a squirrel with
Is that what they
a squirrel eat turkey?
I mean,
Unions it is. Okay. Okay, so 60 seconds.
Are we going?
There are no extra directions with this. So I just start with question 1. With what Polish workers' union would you associate the name Lech Walesa?
Walenska. What is the name of the union? Who's in Poland?
Pass.
What is the largest truck drivers' union in the U.S.?
Teamsters.
Teamsters.
Yes. What was the name of the U.S. labor leader who disappeared from a Michigan restaurant parking lot in 1975?
Hoffa.
Yes. Who served as president of the Screen Actors Guild from 1947 to 1952?
Pass.
Name either of the two biggest musical performing rights organizations.
Pass.
Author Jack London coined what word to describe a strike breaker?
What? Scab.
Yes. Name the founder and first president of the United Farm Workers Union.
Cesar Chavez.
Yes. Who was both founder and first president of the AFL from 1886 to 1924?
Roselle.
Okay, so 1, 2, you guys got 4.
Yeah, but it's better than
That's
the
all right.
first stick.
You got about 4. The ones we didn't get, in case you want to know, the Polish Workers Union was the Solidarity.
Solidarity.
President of the Screen Actors Guild from 47 to 52 was Ronald Reagan.
God, I knew that.
The two biggest musical performing rights organizations are ASCAP and BMI.
Oh, ASCAP.
And the founder and first president of the AFL was Samuel Gompers.
The Gompers. We have easy.
Okay, so which category would you like to give that?
I don't know football.
I know.
I'm good with that.
Hitchcock.
I'm really confident.
Hello.
What did you go?
Hitchcock.
Hitchcock.
I thought for sure you would stick with it as
We not good.
We are not good at
You guys
sports.
could have
You could have killed us on sports.
Okay, so 60 seconds.
Any instructions?
Yes. Identify these Alfred Hitchcock films from their plot descriptions. Okay, number 1. Anthony Perkins plays crazed motel keeper Norman Bates.
Psycho.
Psycho?
Yes. Jimmy Stewart is a San Francisco detective with a fear of heights, shadowing Kim Novak.
So pass. Pass.
Stewart plays photojournalist Jeff Jeffries, laid up with a broken leg, and uses binoculars to spy on his neighbor's windows.
Gonna pass.
Psycho was the only one to do.
Pass.
2 young men kill a college friend and divulge clues to the crime at a dinner party at Jimmy Stewart's apartment.
Pass. This is really bad.
It's Jimmy Stewart again as an innocent man wrongly accused,
Stewart.
while Doris Day tells him whatever will be, will be.
Oh gosh. I don't know the actual title of the movie.
Same.
Pass.
The
This is
story of a
right.
young girl and the mass bird attacks that follow her around in an isolated California community.
What is it? Birds.
Yes.
Thank God.
John Forsythe and Jerry Mathers appear in this black comedy about a corpse who won't stay put.
Pass.
On the French Riviera, Cary Grant plays a cat burglar suspected in a wave of jewel robberies.
I've heard of this one, but I don't know what it is. Anyone have a really nice one-word title?
Catwoman.
Cat. Selena Kyle.
What did you say?
That's
Yeah.
the cat.
Cats.
Just a
So
That was real
Yeah.
rough, boys.
Shoot.
No, we can't read that.
The ones we didn't get, Jimmy Stewart as a San Francisco detective with Fair Heights is Vertigo.
Yeah.
I'm glad we didn't give it to
Rear
them.
Window.
Yeah, Rear Window, the broken leg. The Rope. I didn't know that one. The Rope.
At least we didn't give it to them.
The Jimmy Stewart as an innocent man wrongly accused is the man who knew too much. And we did the birds. And the black comedy about a corpse that won't stay put is The Trouble with Harry.
That's it.
And the French Riviera with Cary Grant is To Catch a Thief.
You know, at least we didn't give it to them, and that's all I'm happy with today. I know. I wish they'd stick it to
Okay,
us.
if you guys want to substitute.
Let's do NFL later.
I think all the other teachers have been.
They ditched us.
We don't have such.
I'm not captain though. Oh wait, yeah.
So
we
we're,
have to go back.
we're probably getting ready to start like over there. We just got one more round. So this is the Stump the Experts round. Stump the Experts is worth 3 points apiece. Stump the Experts. This is our final round. Most difficult questions. And these are all toss-ups, so you do not play them as a team. I mean, you get team points, but you don't discuss. Okay. Number 1. During President Grant's administration, who was the highest official proved to be implicated in the credit mobilier scandal? It is Vice President Schuyler Colfax.
Wait, I would have gotten a prompt. I'm done.
Okay. Number 2, the title character murders an Arab for no reason one hot Sunday afternoon. This happens in Albert Camus' first novel. Name it. I know. We just had this question recently.
I love something.
It is The Stranger. Okay, number 3.
I wasn't there for that.
Aida, a captive Ethiopian princess, loves an Egyptian general, but must choose between loyalty to him or to her father, the king. Name the general. You ready? No. It is Radames?
Still don't know.
Yeah, I'm dumb.
Okay. What 9-letter, 4-syllable word means harsh or discordant sound? A synonym is dissonance.
Dang it.
They're all still counting, and anybody have a guess?
Calculation.
Okay, is cacophony.
I'm so you're the
Is that what? Oh, see, you were going for it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yikes.
Number 5. Which major league sport uses an object whose volume is given by the formula pi r squared h? Yep.
Nice.
Hockey puck.
It's very flat. Hi, Brennan. It's okay, Joe.
Okay. Okay, here's some more math.
Gross.
The price of coal is $15.75 per ton. 1 ton occupies 36 cubic feet. How much will the coal cost that will fill a bin 12 feet long, 8 feet wide, and 6 feet deep?
$94.50.
Nope.
Yikes.
Anybody over here
I know
want to
what I
give a
did
guess?
wrong.
Hold on, I think I might start.
Give me a second.
I'm not even trying.
Give me a second. Is it $409.50?
No.
Dang it. I'm trying.
See, I think Doc went wrong there.
Oh.
He doesn't like this kind of pressure.
Do you want the answer?
$148.
Nope. Answer is $252. Is
Dude, I have that down.
that what you have?
No, I don't write it. I
$252.
just muffed up somewhere.
I couldn't even get
all the
552,
numbers
so
were
you don't
correct.
know where.
Yeah, they did. And I was like, wow, the numbers worked out nice. I just dropped a 2 in the middle of nowhere. I left it in the drink.
I started getting a bunch of numbers and I lost track of what I was trying to even tell.
What
I'm
Bailey
gonna
has?
do that. I'm gonna redo that.
Okay. Okay.
I just wanted to look like
Okay.
we were writing something.
Okay, no, oops, number 7. Long Island's western end is taken up by what 2 boroughs?
I was thinking that.
No, it is.
Well, we can't discuss. We don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
But you can buzz.
Well, the one who came up with it was
Buzz.
Is it not?
You can buzz.
Bronx and Manhattan.
Yep.
I knew it.
This side.
Bronx and Staten Island.
Nope.
I was gonna say Westboro.
It's Brooklyn and Queens.
Look, I read way too much.
I haven't either. I've just seen TV shows.
I just read a bunch of books.
Okay, number 8.
Okay, we can't talk.
What devoted socialist proclaimed in 1914, quote, "My country is the earth and I am a citizen of the world"?
Eugene B. Debs?
Yep.
Did you say 1873 or 1914?
1914.
Gavin.
I know my sister's. Not from Terre Haute. He's from Terre Haute.
Oh,
So
okay.
I
This is great.
know about Eugene B. Debs.
Crossing.
Okay.
Say his whole stupid name.
Number 9. Suppose you were on an archaeological expedition and just discovered a ship on the bottom of the Mediterranean Sea. On board was glasswork and pottery as well as purple dye. Chances are the ship was from what ancient civilization of the Near East?
Phoenicians.
Yep.
Muy bien, Antonio.
Hey, how come you never answered the Spanish?
Okay.
No, you do.
Number 10. Which term may be used for the meat of any game animal?
You trying to buzz?
Is it not?
Buzz.
Venison.
Yes. Venison.
Oh, I put venison lol.
You not working?
Were you?
He's
Like
not
it with
working.
What is that? Is that what you had?
No,
Hey, should I set it?
Yeah, he's
Yeah, I
not
did.
buzzing.
no, he was pushing, but.
Yeah, he's not buzzing.
Check the chords.
Oh, yes.
Oh, see, you got missed out on that one.
Sorry about that.
I'm sorry.
Sorry about
If it makes you feel better,
Something's coming
Honey,
loose
if it
here.
makes you feel better, I wrote
Which
venison
I
lol.
better
and
check
that's it.
Anthony's too.
I know that was only for your.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or
Or
slap
like
the
hit the
table.
table and say buzz.
Let me check them all, just to
That was,
make sure.
that was my one question.
I know, right?
I'm gonna
Couldn't even do
redo
the
that
math
dumb.
question, but I knew venison.
I'll do it when I'm doing my calculus tonight.
Okay, number 11. The Battle of Leyte Gulf was one of the most decisive in the Pacific theater of World War II. Leyte Gulf is found immediately east of which Philippine island?
Bataan.
No.
Oh, no, that's the.
Say it.
Oh, sorry.
South Pacific.
It is Leyte, is that how you say it? L-E-I-T-E.
It does.
It makes a lot of
It's
sense.
kind of, kind of a question.
Answer is in the question.
I hate this.
Okay, what famed 5-word line was the title of the first chapter of Marshall McLuhan's Understanding Media? Okay. The answer is the medium is the message.
Oh. I've been watching a lot of videos.
Number 13. Considered Hemingway's alter ego. This character is the hero of a series of short stories. Name him.
Why do they all have to have names?
Anybody? No. It is Nick Adams. Number 14. Okay. After an ignition temperature of 466 degrees Celsius, this fuel in the alkane series of hydrocarbons burns at 1,970 degrees Celsius. What is this major constituent of liquefied petroleum gas?
Octane.
Nope. Used to keep the Olympic torches flaming.
Butane?
No. Propane.
Propane.
It's one of them.
I know that.
We go through all the things.
One off.
Aim. Hey, aim. Prompt.
Those are alkanes.
Started writing numbers down again. I wasn't
At that point, you drop your pencil and you go. And you just like stick. Oh, nice.
Okay, back for me. You have to have my back if I say that wrong. Okay. So, consider the polar equation R equals 20 over quantity 5 minus 4 cosine theta closed quantity. This graphs as what type of conic section?
I can't even do antiderivatives, man.
Mr. Brown?
Hyperbola.
No. Anybody over here? Want to give it a guess?
No one's classy. I'm gonna say.
Wave.
Nope. Ellipse.
Look, man. I can't antiderive things.
Math teacher doing stuff and I just do.
I started graphing. I got half of it.
I was just trying to.
Oh, it's polar.
Ah,
It's polar.
I drew squares.
sorry. Number 16. Who painted Freedom from Fear? Yes. Norman Rockwell.
He painted the whole team. I drew a bear manatee.
Okay. And the last question. Which territory in which province does Alaska border on?
2 answers required.
Yes.
British Columbia and the Yukon Territory.
Yes.
Woo!
I'm still thinking more.
Nice job. That was not
We were down by 2.
Really?
So,
We need.
what score? Yeah, what score?
Oh, man. That was close, guys.
Say, do we need a tiebreaker?
Staff 45, students 43.
That was not as bad as last year. That's character development.
That was great.
That stump was awful. That was worse than the stump in the dog fight.
Thank you for playing.
I know, I got some Christmas